Hello there everyone, my name is Hooray with 3 videos to this, yes, another vlog review. I haven't done these in a while, and there I am, there's nothing else. What do you want? What do you want me? What do you want me? Anyway, today here I'm gonna be talking about, yes, if you've watched the title correctly, you'll know that today I'll be talking about Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. But is the game any good? Yes. Okay, that's it, merci beaucoup, goodbye. Okay, that's not everything, so let me just explain myself. Back when Captain Toad Treasure Tracker was first released last year, at the end of last year, I actually did a full-feature review on my second channel in French called Gamely. You can find it in the description down below, but this is not what we're talking about here because you're probably not going to say a thing because that review itself is in French, so here am I talking about it in English. So, how about Captain Toad Treasure Tracker? Like I said, is it any good? Yes, it is absolutely good. Great, however, no. The game itself suffers from many problems that I would consider technical problems, and I believe just the variety in general. The game in itself works on a 3D plane where you can actually get full control of the camera and execute puzzles from there using Captain Toad as, well, your avatar. Moving through objects, getting gems, and just getting to the start to actually go to the next level and stuff like this. It's actually a lot of fun, honestly. It's a simple concept, but it works very well. It's a simple puzzle game that everyone can get into. Seriously, you don't need special skills for this one. You just go right into it. You're not going to have any trouble with this. And the game itself is pretty simple. Like I said, you're on this 3D plane, move the camera around, and touch it, interact with the gamepad to move things around, make different gameplay styles, and I believe it's very unique in this variety. However, I don't think that Captain Toad has enough of itself that it can pull off. Most of the things that you're gonna do is gonna be interactive with the gamepad, and the problem is, although everything looks fine on the TV, you know, the thing is, Captain Toad, I believe, relies too much on the gamepad and not enough on its core gameplay. Now, this is a legitimate criticism I have. I think that the Wii U suffers from the same problem that the Wii had. Everything needs to have motion gameplay, which is completely unnecessary. The same way that the gamepad absolutely needs some touchscreen interactive sort of gameplay. Captain Toad suffers a lot from this problem. There's Mario Kart sections in this game where you have to take the gamepad and aim with the gamepad, and I mean that's completely fine. That's actually a very well done stage if you ask me, but there's too many of these things spread around the entire game that are just dragging and making you switch between the TV and your gamepad screen every time, and it just becomes a bit disorienting. I mean, sure, there's sections like the Mario Kart and the minecart level, which are, if you ask me, completely pointless because you're just looking at the gamepad the entire time. There's no reason to look at the TV. It doesn't show anything. So your interactivity between the gamepad and TV is a bit mixed every now and then. There's puzzle that if you touch a certain platform, the platform moves, allowing you to move toward the platform or going back and forth between those platforms by touching it on the gamepad. Great! The problem is, you keep switching between your TV and the gamepad, and most of the time what you just end up doing is looking at the gamepad instead. And it's just a bit, boring. It just becomes like a repetitive sense of gameplay, at least for me. Children aren't going to notice this at all. I mean, it's a perfectly fine game for children, but you just keep using the gamepad in a very redundant way. And that's what I mean by lack of variety. Level-wise, I mean, the variety is there. There's plenty of things to look at. The puzzles are, for the most part, pretty well designed, although very easy in this. and some of them are just platforming challenges, not really puzzles. So really, I don't think that's actually that great. But like I said, there's a definitive lack in variety when it comes to solving puzzles. And that's really my main problem about the gameplay. Other than that, I don't really have any more. I mean, the rest of the game I believe is pretty, like I said, pretty good. I think Captain Toad controls very well. The speed is very well felt. There's a round mode to actually head to the speed or not. The levels are very well designed, so you can actually adapt very well where you're going, what you're doing, and I believe the camera function, for the most part, works very well. Yes, because it's a free camera for almost the entirety of the game, it can be hard sometimes to actually, control it or place it in the way you want. So, but that's kind of thing that happens every time you have a game with free camera. So that's most likely a nitpick for my part. But I think the camera works very well. The one thing I do have a problem with camera is, again, the gamepad interactivity with the game. Because to actually move the camera, you have the right joystick to move things around. Makes sense, right? And the thing about this is, you can actually use the gamepad itself to move the camera. But it doesn't work well. And since you're always holding the gamepad because you need the gamepad to play, you're like this, but it moves around at the same time as you're changing the angle with the joystick. So it just ends up being a very finicky camera, and you end up just putting the gamepad on your legs, which becomes quite uncomfortable after a while. Not to mention with multiple sections among Minecraft, which honestly, if you're charging your gamepad and doing that point or something like that, is a pain with things that you stuck to your gamepad. I don't know what you did with your gamepad. If it's plugged in, like, you're gonna have trouble because you need to twist and turn and go all around. It becomes a bit finicky after a while. So you just want to move to the next part with this kind of thing. But exception of that, I mean, aesthetics are really nice, I do have to say. I am a bit disappointed though that the game is it's just a rehash of the engine that Super Mario 3D World had. But I mean, it's a pretty beautiful engine itself, so I don't have that much trouble with it. But like I said, I feel a bit disappointed. It's really just the same color palette and maybe not even as good looking as Super Mario 3D World. I don't know. I just feel like they're missing a few components here and there to actually make it great looking. At least for the Wii U. It runs really well though. There wasn't one instances in the game where the frame rate actually dropped on me, which was pretty great if you ask me. A 60 FPS 1080p game that actually runs very smoothly. I mean, that's phenomenal if you ask me. I don't see a lot of these often. Like, well, you got games like Bayonetta 2, but this shit is not a thing. Like, and I mean, this game doesn't actually have complex calculation going into it. Most of the time, it's just moving platform, repeating pattern of enemies or stuff like that. So there's not that much going on around here. But I mean, yeah, the game looks great. The frame rate's pretty good. Story, of course, it's a Mario game, so you don't actually think it's gonna be complex. It isn't. It's just about saving Toadette, and then it's just about saving Toad, and then it's just about saving Toadette again. I think. I don't know. The story's dumb. I know at first it's like saving Toadette, and then after it's saving Toad, but I'm not sure if it's about taking the bird wizard, which is actually a thing in this game. There's a bird wizard, not lying, a bird wizard that you need to defeat. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much about it. I mean, I really love Captain Toad for its simplicity, like I said. It's very simplistic. There's a lot of good things going on for the level variety. It's great. The aesthetics, like I said, is fantastic. Although less impressive than I first thought of. There's a lot of gameplay elements that are great in there, and if you go into like the bonus part of the game, like episodes, you can even like play as Captain Toad in some of the levels that are in Super Mario 3D World, which is just it's pretty great, honestly. It gives a whole new perspective on the matter, and I believe this is one thing that really makes me smile, because it shows you how you can get around certain levels in such a different way with different characters to control, and I mean, this is pretty great. And I mean, the really only real problem there's the camera problem and everything, but another very small problem that I have with this game, it's pretty short. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me. I mean, this game was pretty much meant to be short, but I actually like the way it's done. So, yeah, I think that's about it. I won't give a score to this game because I'm not that kind of guy, but if you can find this game for like 30, 20 bucks, it'd actually be a pretty decent purchase if you ask me. It's a pretty simple game. You can most likely get it for, like I said, maybe 20 bucks. I mean, this game has been out for like 8 months now? 6 months? 6 or 7 months, I'm not exactly sure. So, price must have been dropped if you, yeah, I believe so. Go to your local store and grab yourself a copy of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker if you already have a Wii U and don't know what to get it, don't know what to get for like 25 bucks. It's definitely worth your time if you want just to have a simple platform puzzling game. And I mean, that's about it. So until then, everyone, my name is sorta, and I'll see you all next time.